There are just certain things that are just non-negotiables for me when it comes to pop-ups. I've been doing pop-ups for about 10 years now, and it's become an integral part of our business. And through the years, I've just figured out those things that you don't normally think about that you need, but you actually do need them. So today, I'm going to be sharing my personal pop-up essentials in this video. Hi, I'm Kissa. I'm a food entrepreneur and business coach for the food and product-based industry. I own a business called Co-Creative Cartel that owns a company called Ninong's Dessert Lab, an online store that sells Filipino pastries and treats. In today's video, I'm not going to be sharing with you those typical things that you know you're going to need, like a table, tablecloth, that type of stuff. I'm going to share with you the things that you didn't know you needed. Plus, all the tablecloth things, those are going to be in your pop-up checklist. So if you haven't gotten that checklist yet, please feel free to go to the description below and sign up to get your copy. So let's just talk about the stuff that you might not think about. The first product that I want to talk about is my absolute favorite one, and that is Instacrates. I freaking love these things. They are just the absolute best if you are a pop-up business. Though I can't tell you the exact weight limit, these crates can carry a bunch of stuff. Not only that, but when you're done using it, you can collapse it and it gets to about, I don't know, 3 inches thick. So you could stack these on top of each other and take up very, very little space. So we got ours at Costco. I'm not sure if they sell them at Costco anymore, but I will put a link to all the products that I'm talking about in the description below, including these Instacrates. You can also get them on Amazon. So why do I love them? Well, for one, as I mentioned, when they collapse, they become really, really short. So they're easy to stack, a bunch in your car as you need. I've actually replaced them with my reusable grocery bags. I use Instacrates instead just because it's so much easier to carry. You can carry a lot more. They also have multiple uses. So not only can you use them for pop-ups, but you can use them for groceries. You can use it for that Target run. You can use it to bring potluck stuff to your next party. They're just so versatile and really, really easy to use. And last thing is they stack on top of each other. So whether they're fully assembled and they're like a box, or if they're laying flat, they actually stack really well on top of each other so that they don't like shift and slide, because they have like these little, not locks, but they have this thing that keeps it in place so that they don't slide around or fall off. My second item that I want to share is a card reader. I know this might be pretty typical for most people, but if you're just first starting out as a pop-up vendor, this might be not something that you think is really important. A lot of people now do not carry around, cash. And so if you want to be able to take other forms of payment, you can do Venmo, you can do PayPal, but I also recommend card because some people don't have Venmo or anything like that. So everyone nowadays has a card and knows how to use it. So getting a Square reader is something that we've used. If you have a Shopify store, Shopify has a card reader, so does PayPal. So there's so many different ones that you can choose from. You can't really go wrong. Just make sure you do your research because all of them have certain fees. And I know that for some people that might be a drawback, but it's better than not getting any sale at all. The other thing that I cannot live without when it comes to pop-ups is my water bottle. Now, a lot of people might just bring one of those like plastic disposable water bottles, and I kind of discourage it only because, for one, if it's really hot, then your water will get hot really fast. And if it's really cold and you're trying to keep something warm, it'll get cold really fast. And on top of that, it's usually a regular water bottle is only about 16 ounces. But if you bring a reusable water bottle, you can bring a 16 ounce, a 32 ounce, a 40 ounce, a 1 gallon. So pick one that works best for you. I personally bring a 40-ounce hydro flask with me. That way I feel like I have a good amount of water that'll last me throughout the pop-up. And if it's really hot in the summer months, I like to load it up with ice to make sure that it stays cool. And then if it's not and it's a colder month, I like to put just room temperature water in there, but it holds it really well and it doesn't spill around. So if you knock the water bottle over or if it falls over in the car, water isn't spilling everywhere and you don't have to clean it up. Next thing is an inventory tracker of some kind. So if you use Square or PayPal or Shopify, one of those card readers, you can easily go into their register system and you can create an account and count your inventory that way. Or you can also just get a pen and paper, or you can create a template where you can keep track of what you sell at the pop ups. And the reason why I think an inventory tracker is really important is one, you always want to make sure that you always sell the amount that you remove from your inventory, right? So if you come to a pop up and you're selling 10, you have 10 cupcakes with you, and at the end of the pop up you sold five, then you should know that you have five cupcakes left. Um, that is obviously a no brainer, but sometimes you just never know. You want to make sure that you keep track of everything so that you can do it not just for accounting purposes, but for also just remembering something. There are a lot of times where you might want to give someone something for free, and you want to make sure that you track that because through like your credit card app or through cash, you won't see a record of what you necessarily gave away for free. But if you have even just a pen and paper and you mark down that you gave someone a cupcake, then you can at least remember where the cupcake went. Another good thing about inventory trackers is you can also track what is popular, which products are selling really well at what pop ups. So that is also a great way to start kind of experimenting with your inventory and quantities, because if you realize that one of your products are your best sellers and they sell out really fast, then maybe at the next pop up you can remember to bring maybe double the amount or increase your quantity however you see fit based on how fast it's sold. Another thing that you should always have in your arsenal is duct tape. You never know when you're going to need to put something up, to tape something, to mend a rip. You just never know. And I always recommend duct tape. Duct tape has so many colors now. I mean, there's white, there's purple, there's black, there's patterns. You don't have to necessarily go with the classic silver gray duct tape. There's a bunch of different ones. So you can even buy ones that match with your brand color or camouflage a little bit well based on your setup, but you just never know when you're going to need some tape. And last but not least is bungee cords. I can't tell you how useful these things have been to me in a pinch. They are just so great if you want to be putting up a banner of some kind and be able to take it down easily. They're reusable. They last really long as you're, not keeping them in the sun. But they are just one of the best things I have to tell you. Not only do they keep banners up, but if you need lighting, you can use them to help reinforce your lighting. There's just so many things that you can do with it. So having a few of the bungee cords in your back pocket or in your, Instacrate that you leave for all of your pop-up stuff, have a few extra because you never know when you're going to need it or when a fellow vendor might need it. So I'm going to link to the bungee cords that I personally use, but if this isn't something that you feel like will work for you, there's tons of different kinds. There's one with hooks and a bunch of different ones. So feel free to just search out there and see what you think will work best for you and buy those. So that's it for today's video, guys. As a reminder, if you want that pop-up checklist, please go down to the description below and you can sign up to download your free guide. If you want to connect with me on a daily basis, or if you want to send your booth setup for some feedback, feel free to DM me and give me a follow on Instagram at Kissa. There's also links down below where if you want to work with me or start coaching with me, you can sign up down there as well. So thank you guys so much for joining me, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!